Good morning, friends. Bill here. Second message about overcoming the fear of man, overcoming the fear of man. Well, before I sort of give you the solution here on the second video, I believe that I think it's important to understand how we are made and what happens to us in conversion. Here's what I mean. After conversion, there are three parts to our being. One is our nature. Our nature is changed from being a sinner to partaking of the divine nature. So our inner man, our soul, we take on a new nature. We get a new spirit, the Holy Spirit of God. The Spirit of God is given to us, and I believe the spirit of man is cast out. And then the old man, the part that we see in the mirror, the flesh, as Paul talks about it, that remains. The sin remains in the old man. That's why he talks about if you sow the flesh, you reap the flesh. If you submit your members to righteousness or unrighteousness, you'll reap what you sow. And that's where the sin dwells. This is why we get a glorified body. And this is what Jesus talks about, the circumcision without hands, circumcising off the old man, and then we get a glorified body to enter glory, to enter God's presence in the heavenly Jerusalem and so forth. So the old man is always corrupt. And this is just long story short, the old man is always corrupt. Sin is there. So our battle, if you will, is with the old man. And so we want to sow to the Spirit, study the Bible and pray and sow to the Spirit, strengthen our inner man, mature in the faith, and that when our inner man gets stronger than the outer man, then we mature in the faith and on and on. So to me, though, this is the three parts we have, and the sin dwells in the old man. And like I said, our job is to strengthen our inner man through study of the Word and prayer. All right, so now the fear of man is a sin. It's in our old man. So how do we subdue it? Based on what I said, Romans 8:13 says, if by the Spirit you mortify the deeds of the flesh, you shall live. So the Holy Spirit is given to us, and one item it does is mortify the sin in our old man. And I'm going to say, and I've been doing this for years, that you can ask the Lord to, by the Holy Spirit, mortify your fear of man in the flesh. Like, give a specific prayer request. It is sin. It is idolatry. It's a lot of things you could say, but ask the Lord, dear Lord, through your own Spirit, through the Holy Spirit, mortify my fear of man and my flesh. And he will do it. He's done it for me. I've prayed that prayer many, many, many times over the years. And this is what I'm guiding out. Romans 8:13, read the verse, read the text and the context, and you should see what I'm saying. But this is the second way to do it. You just have to remember to do it. And this is the key. One other thing that goes along with this, if in your prayer life you can humiliate the flesh, and what that means is get on your knees and pray, get prostrate on the floor and pray, get on your knees and bend over and pray, and pray these prayers. There's at least, for me, there's a subduing of the flesh. It has a calming effect on the flesh. And then the prayer comes along and the Spirit of God does what it does. And it really seems to very, very well mortify this sin, certainly in our flesh, among other sins as well. But Romans 8:13, if by the Spirit you mortify the deeds of the flesh, you shall live. Ask the Lord that by the Holy Spirit to mortify your fear of man and see what happens. Again, I want to encourage you that the more humble you can be in these prayers, bend over like you really want this to happen, not in pride, not just driving in the car, not just sitting in a chair. I mean, this is a serious situation. And I want to encourage you to it's not a mantra, and it's a genuine prayer. It's a desperate prayer. That's the word I'm looking for. We should be desperate in the Lord to do this. And that to me is, bound before the Lord, the God of heaven, and saying, dear Lord, on your knees, bend over in prayer, in submission, subdue this sin in me, that I may go preach your word without the fear of man. Again, let me know if you got any questions. Hope to hear from you.